Most people mix up attraction with real connection. Attraction can fade over time, but when someone feels a deep soul connection with you, that feeling does not disappear. And here is the truth. You do not have to guess or wonder. There are clear signs that reveal it. Once you become aware of them, you stop questioning your place in their life. You start to see things clearly. When someone feels that deeper bond, there is a natural pull. They feel drawn to you in ways they cannot fully explain, and they do not resist it. It feels effortless, not forced. Another sign is comfort, real comfort. They do not feel the need to wear a mask around you. They can be quiet or messy, playful or serious, open or unsure, and they trust that it is safe. They feel accepted. You will also notice a silent understanding, the looks you exchange, the unfinished sentences, the way you understand what they mean without them saying much. That is not chance, that is alignment. Time also behaves differently. Hours pass quickly when you are together, almost unnoticed. But when you are apart, even a short distance feels heavy and long. Before continuing, pause for a moment. If any of this already feels familiar, take it in. When something resonates, it is often because it speaks to something real inside you. Moments like these help people feel less alone and more understood, and that matters more than most realize. There are simple encounters, and then there are moments when two inner worlds collide. Times when someone does not just enter your life, but awakens something deep within you. Logic cannot fully explain it. Surface rules cannot measure it. It goes beyond attraction and even beyond compatibility. It is recognition. Something about them feels familiar, yet it is not connected to memory. It feels like home, even though you have never been there before. That is what a soul connection feels like. When it appears, you will not only feel it emotionally, but you will see changes around you. This kind of bond does not stay hidden. It shows itself through patterns, through intensity, through a shift inside your inner world. You begin to notice signs, quiet but powerful, telling you this is not just another person passing through. This is someone your soul has been waiting to meet. And when they feel the same pull towards you, their signs appear as well. They are not always obvious or dramatic, but they are always meaningful. If you stay aware, honest, and open, you will recognize them as proof that this moment, this person, and this bond hold deeper meaning than words can fully express. There is something mysterious about human connection, something that avoids clear explanation even while it asks to be understood. When two people meet and an unspoken link forms, it is not just chemistry and it is not simple attraction. It is as if two inner rhythms match, creating a harmony that cuts through the noise of daily life. This connection does not rely on big gestures or rehearsed words. It exists in quiet pull, a gentle gravity that does not need approval from anyone else. It is felt in stillness, in silence, in the spaces between words. When someone feels a soul bond with you, this emotional harmony becomes impossible to ignore. You may remember conversations where you felt unseen, where you had to explain every feeling or defend every reaction. Now compare that to moments where you barely speak, yet you feel fully understood. A single look across a room says everything that needs to be said. That is the power of a soul connection. It allows you to feel seen without having to shout. It is not about performance, it is about truth and being met with the same honesty in return. This kind of connection is rare, and that rarity is why it feels so strong when it appears. Most relationships are built on what is visible: appearance, status, habits, or how well things match on paper. A soul connection ignores those things. It looks past the surface and moves straight into who you truly are. You notice this when someone responds not only to your words, but to the feeling behind them. They sense changes in your tone, moments when your energy pulls back, even if your expression stays the same. They know when something is wrong without you having to explain it. This awareness is not just emotional skill, it is a sign that something deeper is taking place. This kind of bond cannot be planned or controlled. You cannot force it into existence. In fact, trying too hard often pushes it away. It usually arrives unexpectedly. In a quiet moment, shared laughter, or even comfortable silence. There is no acting involved, no games, no pressure to impress. You are simply yourself, and they are simply themselves. And somehow, that meeting feels fuller than anything you have known before. That is emotional harmony, the feeling of moving in rhythm with another person. This harmony is not always romantic at first. It does not need to be. Sometimes it shows up as deep care or mutual understanding. It is not about needing someone to complete you. It is about being complete as you are and seeing that they are drawn to your truth. They do not avoid your depth. They do not change the subject when emotions become complicated. Instead, they stay present. They remain connected because they are responding to something within you that mirrors something inside them. It is important to understand that this kind of harmony is not always comfortable. Being seen so clearly can feel unsettling. It breaks down defenses you built long ago. It challenges the masks you learned to wear just to survive. That is the purpose. Soul connections disrupt routine emotional patterns. They pull you out of autopilot. They demand honesty because hiding no longer works. When someone feels this bond with you, they do more than notice you. They share your emotional world, often without knowing exactly how or why. There is a shared empathy that goes beyond logic. You may find yourself speaking freely, saying things you never planned to say. You may open up parts of yourself you once guarded carefully, not because you were pushed, but because you felt safe. That sense of safety is everything. When someone shares this deep connection with you, they do not use your weaknesses against you. They treat them gently, not from pity, but from respect. They understand what it means to be vulnerable in a difficult world. They know that most people listen only to respond, not to understand, and they choose a different way. They listen in a way that makes you feel whole, honest, and valued, even with your imperfections. Over time, this emotional harmony creates space for growth. You grow not because they change you, but because being with them encourages you to step more fully into who you are. You are not shrinking to fit their expectations. You are expanding to meet the depth of the bond itself. That is the difference. In shallow connections, you end up shrinking just to belong. In true soul bonds, you expand to carry the meaning that is growing between you. You can tell someone feels this pull with you when they do not run from your intensity. They do not silence your emotions. They do not try to soften or dull your passion. Instead, they move closer, not because they have every answer, but because they value the connection more than the comfort of emotional distance. There is no competition, no pretending, no need to posture. It is simply two people sensing something real that does not need a label to exist. That is what makes this type of connection feel sacred. It does not need long explanations. You never have to justify its value. You feel it in the way your body relaxes around them. You see it in their eyes when words are not enough. You hear it in the pauses, not only in what is spoken. And you carry it with you even when they are far away. Because a soul bond is not something you walk away from. It stays with you like a quiet hum beneath everything else. Something always changes when a connection like this truly exists. Something that does not follow normal timelines or easy explanations. Time begins to move differently. What should feel rushed or stretched instead feels natural. It is not that the hours stop passing. It is that you stop paying attention to them when you are with this person. Moments feel wider, conversations drift into the early morning without fatigue. Silence settles in, not with tension, but with calm. The ticking clock that usually controls daily life fades because something deeper has entered the space. This is one of the clearest signs that someone feels a soul connection with you. Time loses its grip. This is not fantasy or escape. It is not about forgetting the world. It is about feeling so aligned that the world no longer feels like something you need to avoid. You are not using each other to escape boredom or pain. You are grounding one another in a shared experience that feels both endless and fully present at the same time. That kind of experience is rare. Most people move through relationships like exchanges. They give, they take, they keep score. They emotionally clock in and clock out. But when the bond is real, time is no longer a form of currency. It becomes presence. You notice this even when you are apart. In ordinary relationships, distance often brings doubt, anxiety, and the need for constant reassurance. A soul connection works by different rules. The bond does not disappear with distance. It simply grows quieter, like a flame that dims but never fully goes out. You carry them within you, not in a heavy way, but in a steady way. The connection remains constant, like a low vibration in the background. You do not feel forgotten, even after days of silence. You do not feel replaced when life pulls you in separate directions. There is a calm understanding that what you share is not fragile. It is rooted in something deeper than physical closeness. This is not about dependency. It is not about losing yourself in another person. It is about trust. Trust not only in them, but in the bond itself. You trust the rhythm even when the pace shifts. You do not panic when communication slows. You do not question your value when plans change because you are not moving from fear. You are moving from harmony. That level of trust only forms when time has already shown you the strength of what you share. When every moment together has proven that the connection can survive silence, distance, and uncertainty. When someone feels this bond with you, they do not need daily reminders. They do not need constant reassurance to stay connected. Something inside them knows, even when life becomes chaotic, even when responsibilities, work, and personal struggles demand their attention, you still exist in their inner world, not as a task or obligation, but as a steady presence, as something meaningful they return to when they need to remember who they are and what truly matters. You will notice the same shift within yourself. You will not need their constant presence to know their importance. You will not depend on them to feel emotionally alive because the connection does not demand that. Instead, it becomes a quiet source of strength. Something you draw from, something that reminds you of your depth, your worth, and your ability to connect beyond the surface. In that way, it makes you more whole, not more dependent. Even when you are apart, you feel it in small ways. In how certain songs suddenly hit deeper, in how conversations replay in your mind long after they end, in how your intuition senses their emotional state without proof. There can be a kind of unspoken awareness that grows when two souls are tuned together. This is not fantasy. It comes from emotional and mental alignment. You begin to sense their needs before they speak. You feel their pain before they show it. You feel joy for their wins even when you were not there to see them. A connection at this level does not rely on physical closeness to survive. It exists in the space between intention and awareness. That does not mean the relationship requires no effort. The bond may feel timeless, but the people within it still live in time. There will still be schedules, responsibilities, misunderstandings, and mistakes. But when the foundation is a soul bond, surface struggles do not destroy the core. You are able to return to one another without starting from the beginning. There is a shared flow, a rhythm that resumes naturally, no matter how long the pause lasted. And over time, something deeper forms. This kind of connection teaches patience, not the kind filled with frustration, but the kind rooted in trust. You stop rushing outcomes. You stop demanding immediate clarity. You allow the bond to breathe, to unfold, to reveal its depth naturally. Time apart no longer feels like a threat. It becomes space for reflection, for personal growth, for the connection to deepen without force. So if you find yourself in a connection where time seems to soften, where the bond remains meaningful even in absence, do not dismiss it. Do not analyze it until it fades. Simply observe it. Ask yourself, do you feel pressured or do you feel real? Do you feel drained when they leave or do you feel expanded? Do you measure time together in minutes or in meaning? These answers will tell you more than any outside advice ever could, because when someone truly feels a soul connection with you, time does not work against you. It moves alongside you, bending quietly around a bond that refuses to shrink into something temporary. Many people imagine soul bonds as gentle, poetic, and easy, something soft and soothing. The truth is more complex. When someone feels a soul connection with you, it does not only comfort you, it challenges you. It wakes parts of you that were asleep. And what it brings up is not always comfortable. It stirs unresolved emotions, old fears, hidden insecurities, and that deep desire to be seen mixed with the fear of being rejected. Soul connections carry a pressure for growth. They invite you into openness, not because it is easy or painless, but because it carries meaning. The first wave of intensity can feel overwhelming. You may wonder why you feel so deeply, so fast. That confusion is natural. It happens when you are not only meeting another person, but also encountering parts of yourself through them. Their presence becomes a mirror, not meant to judge you, but to reflect truths you may have been avoiding. And the strange thing is, they are not doing this on purpose. They are not trying to change you or pull you apart. They are simply being real, and that authenticity quietly pushes you to face your own layers with honesty. That honesty can feel freeing and uncomfortable at the same time. You may notice that this bond brings old wounds to the surface, not because they are causing pain, but because their presence touches places that were never fully healed. You might react in ways that surprise you, becoming defensive, pulling away, or feeling sudden fear. That fear does not mean the connection is wrong. It means the bond is deep enough to reach what you buried long ago. In that moment, a choice appears. You can retreat into what feels familiar and safe, or you can lean into growth. If they feel the same soul-level connection with you, they will not punish you for being afraid. They will not use your vulnerability against you or demand perfection. Instead, they will stay present. They may challenge you, but never with cruelty. They will encourage you to open, to stretch, to be more honest than you have ever been. That does not always feel gentle. Growth rarely does, but it feels true. It feels necessary, because this kind of bond is not here to protect your ego. It is here to help your spirit grow. You may find yourself saying things like, "I have never shared this with anyone before," not because you plan to, but because something inside you trusts them with the truth. And once that truth is spoken, whether it is fear, memory, or doubt, the hardest part is already behind you. What comes next is the real test. Do they stay? Do they pull away? Or do they hold what you shared with care, understanding how much it cost you to open up? That moment, right after vulnerability, reveals the depth of the connection. When someone feels a soul bond with you, they do not run from your discomfort. They sit with you in it. They do not rush to fix you because they respect you too much to see you as broken. But they also do not leave you alone in your pain. Instead, they stand as a steady witness to your growth. And in time, you offer the same presence to them. That shared witnessing, that mutual openness, becomes the base for intimacy that cannot be faked. This process is not always smooth. A soul bond does not promise perfect compatibility. It does not guarantee instant agreement in habits, goals, or emotional expression. Often, the tension between who you were and who you are becoming creates friction. But it is meaningful friction, the kind that slowly wears down the ego just enough to let your real self come forward. That is the role of a soul connection. To break what no longer serves you and to protect what is real beneath it all. Many people run from this kind of bond because it feels too intense. They confuse discomfort with something harmful, but they are not the same. Harmful connections manipulate and drain. A soul connection reveals and lifts. One traps you in cycles. The other challenges you to rise, even when it feels uncomfortable. You know it is a true soul bond when the challenge you feel around them is not about shrinking or silencing yourself. It is about being seen and being held accountable for who you could become if you stopped hiding. Conversations go deeper than surface praise. They ask questions that stay with you. They speak truths that disrupt the stories you tell yourself, not to hurt you, but to wake you up. That is what real connection does. It wakes you to your habits, your patterns, and your potential. It asks you to show up fully, not halfway. Over time, something powerful begins to take shape. You realize that the tension, the discomfort, the challenge was never a threat. It was an invitation to grow, not only within the connection, but as a person. And if they feel this bond with you, they will be changing too. You will notice them becoming more thoughtful, more open, more aware of themselves. That is transformation. This kind of bond cannot survive behind masks. It requires honesty, even when things feel messy. It asks for presence, even when walking away would be easier. And above all, it calls for accountability, not the harsh kind, but the kind that says, I see you and I believe in who you can become. That kind of belief is rare. And when it appears, it does not just change a relationship, it reshapes your life. So if you feel this kind of soul bond and you feel tested by it, do not run. Pause. Look deeper. Ask yourself whether what you are feeling is fear of being hurt or fear of being fully seen. One signals danger, the other signals exposure. And if it is exposure, that may be exactly where healing begins. When someone feels this deep bond with you, it does not remain hidden. It starts to show in how they act. Not through dramatic words or big promises, but through something far stronger. Steady, intentional presence. Their actions quietly reflect commitment. You may not have defined the bond or planned the future, but their behavior tells the story. They are there. In a world full of shallow connections, that consistency speaks louder than words. Most people move through relationships only half present. They show up when it feels easy and disappear when things become heavy. They give just enough to keep things going. But when the bond is real, something shifts. That person does not stay on the surface of your life. They step into it, not to control it or consume it, but to be part of it with intention and care. Their presence is not unpredictable. Their energy is not confusing. They are not warm one day and distant the next. They do not play games with closeness or leave you guessing. Their steadiness becomes the proof. This does not mean they never struggle or feel fear. They are still human, but the bond calls something higher out of them. Even when they fall short, they return. Even when conflict appears, they seek repair. Even when things feel unclear, they look for understanding. And you begin to notice something rare, emotional responsibility, the kind that says, I know this connection is not ordinary and I will not treat it casually. That awareness is uncommon, but when it appears, it says everything. You will see it first in small details. The way they listen, not to respond, but to truly understand. The way they remember what matters to you, not to impress you, but because they care. The way they show up when it counts, even when you never asked. It is never about being perfect. It is about being present. And real presence does not demand attention. It offers it freely. A deep soul bond does not always need words to be understood. It reveals itself through the steady choice to show up. Even when life feels heavy, even when emotions are hard to explain, when someone feels this kind of connection with you, you naturally become important to them. Not out of obligation, not because they fear losing you, but because something in their heart knows where it belongs. They begin shaping their life in ways that make room for you, not because they have to, and not because you are a burden, but because to them you are part of how their world fits together. You are not added only when it is convenient. You are the space they want to exist in. That decision is not careless, it is deliberate. You will feel the shift inside yourself too. The urge to chase fades. The need to beg for attention disappears. You stop explaining why you matter. You no longer drain your energy trying to read between the lines of their tone or silence. You stop guessing where you stand. Slowly, confusion gives way to clarity. Anxiety softens into calm. Not because fear never returns, but because steady behavior builds something strong enough to quiet it. That is the real beauty of a soul connection. It does not erase fear, but it shows you that love can be stronger than fear. Consistency in this kind of bond is not boring or empty routine. It is not the dull repetition of habits. It is depth that grows roots. It is presence that adapts, shifts, and evolves with you. They keep communicating as things change. They do not disappear when you show your raw truth. They lean in, they adjust, they stay. and it never feels forced. You can sense the difference between someone being present out of duty and someone being present because their heart is aligned. In a soul-level bond, showing up feels natural, not transactional. As you live within that connection, you start noticing how emotional edges soften. You do not need a crisis to receive care. They check in simply because they want to. Over time, emotional balance forms. The way they make space for you inspires you to do the same for them. Their steadiness encourages your own. It may not always be perfectly equal, but it is mutual. Both people are protecting something meaningful. You do not feel like you are carrying everything alone. You do not constantly worry that they will leave. You do not silence yourself just to keep peace. Somewhere, consciously or not, you both understand that this bond is worth the effort. What becomes even more powerful is how their consistency begins to heal you, not by fixing your past or rewriting your story, but by offering something you may have rarely felt before: emotional safety. You begin to realize that love does not have to be chaotic or unpredictable. Being chosen does not have to come with conditions. Real connection does not mean walking carefully, afraid to be yourself. Their reliability slowly repairs the parts of you that learn to expect pain from love. Step by step, you trust them more. And just as importantly, you trust yourself more. You begin to believe that you are worthy of being chosen every day without having to earn it. That realization can bring emotion to the surface, not because they rescued you, but because you finally release the belief that love must hurt. You stop calling chaos chemistry. You stop mistaking inconsistency for passion. You understand now that love can be calm and still be deep. Once you feel that difference, you cannot ignore it. You know what better feels like. And if you are in a connection where someone shows up with honesty, steady care, and presence that does not disappear when you reveal your true self, notice it. That is rare. That is meaningful. That goes far beyond surface attraction or dating rules. It is something your soul recognizes before your mind finds the words. In a world where attention is mistaken for love, control is confused with devotion, and drama is labeled passion, true consistency becomes one of the strongest forms of affection. When someone feels a soul bond with you, they may not express it through grand speeches. They do not need to. Their actions speak clearly. And if you are paying attention, if you are truly listening, you will understand. You will know, not because of a promise they made, but because they made you feel like a promise was never required at all.